Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Utility Sports. Today's video is going to be a little bit more focused on one specific team, something we haven't necessarily done quite as much here on the channel. So if this is something you're interested in, let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button if you are new to Utility Sports. And here today, we're talking about the Carolina Panthers. That's the team we're focusing on because they've made a series of moves over the last couple days in order to open up some cap space. And here we can see some of the moves they made. They released Woodrow Hamilton, Natrell Jamerson. They released Kawan Short. They also released Stephen Weatherly. And they released their punter, Michael Pilardi. And you might be wondering, well, are any of those really that big of a deal? And yes, it is, especially the Kawan Short part. They are looking to save a lot of money here. And they actually moved on today to restructuring with center Matt Paradis. He moved a lot of his base salary into signing bonus. That allowed them to save about $5 million on the cap. And that number is not shown here. Right here it says his base salary is $7 million. It's actually moved down to about $3 million now. They saved about $4 million here. And their 2020 rollover here is also going to help them get into that spot now where they have about $40 million to work with in cap space this offseason. And the reason why this is really important is there is one star QB that is on the trade market right now that Carolina is going to be aggressive going after. And for those of you who don't know, that is Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans. He is not content there in Houston. He wants out. Carolina, Matt Rule, Joe Brady, and that organization is being very aggressive right now. And it is obvious that they are trying to position themselves to work out a deal for Deshaun Watson this offseason prior to the draft. And what do they have to give up? Well, let's look down here. Here's their picks that they have this year. They have every round, no additional picks, but they can make an aggressive move with pick 8. They could throw in pick 39. They have their future assets as well. You could be looking at 2 firsts, 2 seconds, maybe a third, possibly 3 firsts if they feel like they want to go that far out in a deal for Deshaun Watson. However, the important thing to note here is that they are trying to position themselves salary cap wise by making these types of moves here to save a little bit of money here on the cap at positions that they felt like they could improve anyway. And now they're making those moves and they're going to be improving at those spots over the offseason anyway. They have free agent salary cap space if the Deshaun Watson thing does not work out, but they're going to be aggressive in pursuing Deshaun Watson. We put a poll up on our channel actually yesterday asking many people where they thought Deshaun Watson was going to go or be the starting QB of next season. Many of you had said the Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins came up, Denver Broncos came up, but the Panthers were the most commented in the comment section on that poll. And I think that there's a lot of fruition to that this could be very likely. I think that they have the assets to do it. One thing I've been talking about with my co-creator off the channel was, is Christian McCaffrey available in a deal like that? Maybe you look at pick 8, Christian McCaffrey, because last year, remember, the Panthers had such a successful offense, even with McCaffrey out. Now, I'm not suggesting that they should trade him, but is that a good way to get some value in maybe acquiring a 25-year-old franchise QB who is under contract for the foreseeable future? I think that is a good way to maybe look into making a move there, adding some value into the deal. And ultimately, I know it's hard to say you should give up Christian McCaffrey, but if moving on from Christian McCaffrey is what puts you head and shoulders above any other offer that the Houston Texans get, you might have to really look at making that move. I know it's not necessarily something you'd want to hear as a Panthers fan, but they have to just be aggressive in this deal. They're going to have to look for their franchise QB, especially with how we're kind of looking at the draft now. Pick 1 is going to be Trevor Lawrence. The New York Jets are a real possibility of drafting Zach Wilson at pick 2. I think that at pick 4, it's very possible the Falcons go Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, depending on which one of those two is there, possibly even Trey Lance. And then you have the Detroit Lions at 7 right in front of you. Again, Carolina, maybe looking to take a QB. Not sure if Goff is their long-term guy. He might just be a bridge guy there in Detroit. You're looking at a real situation now where the Panthers could miss out on all these rookie QBs. Maybe would have to trade down, grab a guy like Mac Jones. And I'm not sure if Mac Jones is the answer long-term either. We're seeing how much Teddy Bridgewater makes as well. Expect him to get moved at some point, either that or he will stick on the roster and then get released at the end of the season. He does have a $5 million cap hit going into next year, but you see his cap hit this year is $23 million. There's no way that the Panthers would go about releasing him and paying him out his full contract. That would just be a ridiculous move. If anything, they might include him in a trade back to the Houston Texans. But again, there's a lot of dead cap with a move like that. I'm not necessarily sure what Teddy Bridgewater's future looks like in Carolina. However, I am sure that they are trying to position themselves for Deshaun Watson. Let me know in the comments below if you think Deshaun Watson will be a Carolina Panther or where you think he'll end up. Denver Broncos are a possibility. The New York Jets are a possibility. The San Francisco 49ers and quite a few other teams as well. I think a lot of teams should be calling about the 25-year-old QB from Houston. He's a dynamic player. He could really elevate this Carolina offense. And I'm excited to see where he goes this offseason if he does get dealt. Make sure you guys are subscribed to keep up to date with all the latest news in the sports world. And we'll catch you guys in the very next video.